Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, Friday, April 17th. My goodness. We're going to have a great day today. So glad Mandy Norman's here. Thank God. So good to see you, Mandy. I'm going to give you a big cheer. All right. Let's see. Christine Smith is in the house again. Man, we got the sisters piling in this morning. Hope Prince, my good friend and buddy and coworker and teammate. Dan Freshley's here as well. It's been a minute, Dan. I hope you're doing. Of course, Nick Nicholas. Always ready to go. Just always ready. Yeah, thumbs up. Ready to rock, man. Good stuff. All right. Well, Chris, how are you, man? What's going on?
I'm doing fantastic, Frank. How are you doing?
Yeah,
Happy Friday.
Yeah, indeed, man. Same to you. So you got big plans for the weekend, or what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. We're doing tons of stuff with the kids.
Really?
And we're helping with a little project where we're building a house, which it sounds crazy, but it's not. It's a
Little
thing that we're doing with this charity project. And
Like a legitimate house that someone's going to live in?
yeah. So there's a guy here who doesn't currently have a home to live in. So we're working with the school and a couple of the other organizations to build him a house. And on Saturday, we're having a party where all of the kids are going to come, and we're going to put the roof on the house and have a little celebration about it. So that's going to be fun. Then we're going to go to the beach, have a cookout, and do some surf and some other stuff.
That's
so it
awesome.
should be pretty cool.
I got to tell you, it doesn't sound like a very relaxing weekend to me.
Yeah, relaxing, probably not. Rewarding,
It's like-
hopefully.
More stuff going on in the weekend than goes on during the week over at the Johnstone house. Goodness.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool though, man. That's pretty neat
Rob
stuff.
likes
Yeah.
to keep us busy. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And
Good
what about
stuff,
you? You
man.
got plans for the weekend?
I really don't. No, this weekend's going to be just kind of laying low, I think. So cool.
What about y'all in the chat?
Yeah, what's going on for you
Let us
guys in the
know.
weekend? Yeah, what you doing this weekend, peeps? Put it in the chat. Let's see what you guys are doing. Before we get going there, I do want to talk to Mandy, though. Mandy Norman, come on. What's going on, Mandy? How are you? What's happening?
Good. I'm doing good.
Yeah? What you doing this weekend?
My niece is having her bridal shower.
Oh.
Yep. And my mom's in town from Florida. So
Oh, you got a big weekend.
yeah,
Oh, good for you. Wow. When's the wedding?
June 20th.
Well, it's coming up.
Oh, okay. Is it going to be a remote wedding? One of those deals where it's like, hi, everybody, let's go to China.
No,
Get married.
nope. Just here in Wisconsin, traditional church wedding barn reception.
Oh, very, very cool. Well,
That'll be
that's
super
exciting.
fun in June
Yeah.
in Wisconsin. With the
What do you mean?
mosquitoes and the heat.
Cue me in. What does that mean? June, Wisconsin, super hot.
Hot and mosquitoes and yeah.
Hot, mosquito, humid, Wisconsin
Way to
barn
celebrate.
reception. Excellent.
No
Sounds like
air
a great
conditioning.
time. Well, hey, so where are you located? I can't remember.
Wisconsin.
Oh, so you are in Wisconsin. Okay, so all right. So what's cooking with you biz-wise? You doing okay? Things happening?
Yeah,
Got
I'm
things
doing good. I
flowing?
had a really good March. April.
Oh, really? Tell us
coming along
everything,
just fine,
every
too.
detail
Yeah.
of March. I want to hear it all. Everything, start to finish. What happened?
Closed 11 loans. Should have been 12. One fell out, but it's closing this
Dang.
month. So yeah.
How is that for you on average? Are you about a 10-month loan LO, or was that an
Um,
exceptional month, or was it
It was a really
dismal
good, it was
for
a good
you?
month.
What was it?
I'm like 7-ish, so 10,
Yeah.
11, 12 was very good for me.
How long you been doing the loan gig?
23 years.
So you're a bit of a seasoned veteran, I
Yeah,
would say.
Been around.
You've been through a thing or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good for you, man. Awesome. Is this okay, well, terrific. Good
Yeah.
stuff, man. Yeah. Well, excellent. So that's where I wanted to go with it too. Like, so what's moving the needle? What do you think's making it happen? Just what is it?
I fell off a little bit, but I corrected course and just working the plan.
So working the plan.
Yeah.
So just getting back on the plan, making it happen, making the calls, following up, asking for the business.
Yep. All the things.
There you go. That's the trifecta there, Chris. Make the
Yep.
call, follow up, ask for the business. Yeah.
Yep.
Remarkable what that'll do, isn't it? Well, Mandy, do you have a Breakfast Club t-shirt?
I do.
Okay, great. Yeah, I thought so.
I
Yeah.
don't have a mug. Do you have a mug?
I don't know. Do we have a
No?
mug, Kristen?
We have mugs left. I'll
Or
check.
or
If we
Jen?
do, we'll send one out.
Do we have? Were we done? Do we have mugs? Did you say?
I don't know if we have any left. If we do, we'll send
Mm,
one out.
mm,
I'll
mm.
Okay.
check.
All right. Well, how about this? How about a big fat cheer and a victory fanfare?
Woo! All right.
That's pretty good. You can't take it to the bank, but it's all
Right.
right. It's all right. Well, cool, man. Have fun in Wisconsin. Thanks for letting us say hi to you this morning. Super appreciate it. Have fun at the what is it? Bridal shower.
Bridal shower, yeah.
Yeah, bridal shower. Hey, out of curiosity, the bridal shower. The guys don't go to those, right?
It depends. Is some of
Justine's
them,
like
some they have
absolutely
them
not.
as both, but this one is just ladies. Very
Okay,
traditional.
good. I think that's better. Yeah. Have you guys noticed for the baby showers that the guys are going now? Have you guys noticed that?
Yes.
Anybody seen that? You know? Yeah.
Hmm.
Little different. Yeah. Have you noticed that, Chris? Because
No,
we've recently had some babies over here in the Gray household, right? And so,
yeah.
yeah, so it's like they're having the showers, and the guys are coming and they're playing all the games and doing all that stuff. I'm like, what is going on? This is not how it was. You know?
I,
You know?
yeah, I don't, yeah. I mean, that's great. That's fantastic. I would,
Yeah.
I would pass. I think.
Yeah,
I
right.
think
Yeah,
I
see,
would
for us,
pass.
back in the day, it was like when they had the baby shower, the guys were like, rock on, see you later. Hey, fellas, what do you want to do today? That's how it was. That was like our little time, it was ours, but I don't know. Things change. All right. Well, Mandy, thanks so much. And everybody else, look, it's about that time that we bring on Mr. Chris Johnstone because we're dying to hear about this co-work thing. So why don't we bring him up, see what the heck is going on?
All right.
Make it do everything for us, Chris. Everything.
Trust me, they're working on it. It's wild. So Frank, so this week on Wednesday, I went and I helped with that build for the house. So twice a week, I go into the school, my kids' school, and I teach AI to the teenagers. So from grade 7 all the way up to the grade 12s, we all get together and I teach them AI in the school. So I've been part of this group of kids. And so this need comes up in the community of this guy who doesn't have a house, who needs a house. So we decide we're going to build a house for him through some of these charitable organizations. And we get all the kids together involved in the thing. So on Wednesday morning, I took the morning off work, went down and worked with the kids, and we built the walls for this house. But Frank, while I was there, I booked 5 appointments for top producers in the mortgage industry to come on my podcast and be on the podcast. I had 3 pieces of customer support that required my personal attention that came into my inbox. And during that time, I also had a personal friend of mine reach out and say, hey, man, you got time on this date at this time to go and do this thing. And so I work with the kids. It's amazing. Cut my hand, cut my leg. Not the greatest construction guy. I should probably stick to the keyboard stuff, right? But when I got back, all of that work was taken care of for me. All the appointments were booked, all the emails were answered, everything was taken care of, and the meeting with my homie was in my calendar. And it was all, I didn't even look at it because I had Claude Cowork connected to my loan officer AI CRM, getting the messages, writing the responses to the messages, planning the work, and doing it for me. So I was able to go give back to my community, spend some great time with my kids, and still be effective in the business. And so we're going to touch on Claude Cowork Part 2 today. Show you how that stuff works and show you how to start to build the brain. So we got to kind of unpack the big idea before we actually get to doing the work on this thing. So, Frank, that's cool?
Oh yeah. Let's dig in.
Okay. So what Claude Cowork is this new evolution in artificial intelligence. So we've done a ton of work here on the Breakfast Club, giving out prompts and teaching everybody how to use ChatGPT and how to use AI to get your emails put them in, have them written. Have a weekly task. Like many of you this morning should have gotten a notification from ChatGPT that says, here's what's happened in your market this week. Here's a new listing. Here's your newsletter to send out to your database and all of your realtors, right? You copy and paste that into the loan officer CRM and send out that email.
If you're getting value from this already, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more loan officers find content that actually makes a difference. And hey, if staying ahead of the market and learning what's really working in our industry matters to you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. We read every comment, so drop your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you and know what's working or what you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next time.
So what that is with artificial intelligence is just a conversation flow. So you ask it to do something, it goes, does it incredibly well with the IQ of Einstein and delivers you back this amazing response. So you can just do tasks really, really fast, or essentially you can use it to do work really, really quickly. Then AI agents came out. And what that did was it made it so that when you ask your AI to do something, and it has a question on how to do it, or it needs a little bit of support, that AI agent can go write its own prompt and get another AI conversation to do a little bit of work for it, give that work back to it, and it can actually do a task on its own. So now what's happened with Cowork and these agents is they've given them the ability to connect to and run the tools that you have on your computer and in your browser. So we did a show a couple of weeks ago where we talked about OpenClaw and agents and the ability for OpenClaw to actually do tasks. And so this is very new, but now AI can actually do the work. So you can give Claude Cowork access to a web browser in Chrome. You can give it access to a file folder on your computer where it can store files with instructions on how to do things. You can connect it to your calendar. You can connect it to your loan officer CRM. So rather than, here's my newsletter, create this newsletter for me. And then you have to go in, copy it, paste it into the loan officer CRM and hit send. Now you can go into Cowork and say, every Friday at this date and time, run a task, write the newsletter, take the newsletter, put it into my loan officer CRM, send it to these people and send it. And it will actually create the newsletter, copy and paste it for you, put it in the CRM for you, and send it for you. So there's this gap between it does the work and gives it to you so that you can finish it, to now it goes all the way from the beginning to end on a task.
Hey, can I ask you something real quick?
Of course.
So when you say it's connected to the AI CRM, is it that because you gave it access to a Chrome browser and the credentials to get into the CRM? So it's literally like going into the CRM and working it as if it was a person going in and working the CRM?
Yeah.
Holy
So it can like move the mouse, click the
yeah, it's
button,
clicking on the
hit
buttons and doing
login.
all that. Get
So,
out of here.
yeah. And then I don't want to go too deep here on Breakfast Club, but they also have these things called MCP servers where you can actually
Yeah.
make a direct connection between the two tools. And then it's like lightning fast and super easy to
Because
actually.
it doesn't even need to do the clicking. It's all in the back end, basically.
Yeah.
Holy
So
smokes.
I know, y'all, we are AI powered loan officers,
Hmm.
right? The gap between those of us that lean in on these tools and learn how to do them and the ones that don't is going to be so big in a year from now on the tasks that you do. It's going to be incredible. So I'll give you an example of one that I set up, and then we'll actually open up Claude Cowork and I'll show you how to set this thing up. So we decided internally that we wanted to make sure that everybody that I personally had a meeting with got a synopsis of the meeting that we did and a little slide deck that went along with it that explained what happened on the meeting. Because sometimes I get into the weeds and we do some technical stuff on these calls, right?
Hmm.
So I set up Claude Cowork and I connected it to our Zoom account. Then I connected it to my Google account, and I connected it to the loan officer CRM. And I wrote a co-work prompt that said, every time you see a new Zoom recording show up in my Zoom where I've met with somebody, I want you to write a synopsis of that meeting, create a quick slide deck using this format, and then I want you to send an email to everybody that was on the Zoom invite with a synopsis of the meeting and a slide deck with everything that they need. And now every time I hit end on a Zoom meeting, Claude Cowork turns on, summarizes the meeting, puts together the deck, and emails it out to everybody, and I don't have to do anything.
Chris.
Yeah, guy.
Okay, you're freaking me out. So does the Claude app have to be up and running for that to happen, or does it know this stuff in the background?
So right now it has to be up and running on your computer.
So
So
your daily practice is when you get the day started, you get Claude up and running right away, basically, so that it can start deploying the actions
so Frank, this might sound a little bit weird, but I actually have a laptop that just sits in a room and is just
all,
open and connected to the internet all of the time
all
with
the
Claude
time.
on it. So it's just
That
always on.
and
So,
and again, just another stupid question on that laptop, right? Do you have the settings so it doesn't like turn off the screen, like it doesn't
yep,
go to sleep, so it just stays on?
yep, just always on.
And then one last stupid question: is that a
No,
Mac
sir.
or is that a PC or what is that? Just out of curiosity.
So mine's a Mac.
So you've got a dedicated Mac to doing the work for you. That's actually a really good idea
Yeah.
because now you've got this machine that's there just running for you, doing all those tasks, and it's not on your daily, operational thing where you're messing around.
Yes. And so inside of Claude Cowork, on the phone, when you have it connected to it, I can't show it to you, but if you go on your phone and you open up Claude, there's this tool that they have called Dispatch, which I call walkie-talkie, right? And think of like a text messaging between you and your AI. So on Dispatch, I can be in the car and get an update from Claude and it will like ask me a question or I'll think of something and be like, oh, I need to go into the CRM and add this email to this workflow. I can just open up the app on my phone, talk to it, and my computer at home turns on and does the work for me.
This is awesome, man. The notion of having a dedicated computer to just do that work. I think that's huge just to think about that because these days, I mean, look, that just makes so much sense. And then being able to communicate from your phone, from the app to the computer to do some things for me. Hey, I just thought of something. I need to get an email out to so and so for whatever. Could you do that for me and monitor? Let me know what she says back or whatever. Boom, you're moving on. Seriously, you could do that.
Not where I was going with the conversation this morning, but yes,
Okay,
absolutely. Super
sorry,
cool.
didn't mean to derail you.
No, it's not like that. That's where the value comes from, is the conversation here with all of the brilliant minds here on this call. So, the big idea here is that we've got that machine running, you've got your Claude Cowork. AI is very much garbage in, garbage out, high value in, high value out. And so what we're going to do now is show you how to train your Claude Cowork so that it is the best version of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then David, I would also say in the chat, he says, my company's weighed in on this, and due to security concerns, we can don't connect Microsoft 365. Like, do not connect systems to artificial intelligence that have borrower information in them. Consult your compliance department. All of this should be run by your compliance department. I'm a huge fan of compliance departments. I think that they're a backbone of our industry. And so absolutely 100% do this on like little personal stuff first so you learn how it works and then work with your organization in order to implement these AI tools. Don't forget to mention my name when you're having corporate conversations on somebody that might be able to help with some of these AI integrations. So there's my compliance
Good,
disclaimer.
good. Yes, that's awesome. You're available for that. That's wonderful.
Well, but compliance is important, I think is
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
okay. So we've got Claude Cowork pulled up here. Can everybody see that on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So up here, and this is Claude Cowork, the desktop app. So you can go to Claude.ai or just go to Claude and it'll say desktop app. You're going to click on desktop app and you're going to download it on your desktop, move it into your applications folder, and then you will have Claude on your computer. So see how I've got this little icon down at the bottom. This is Claude on my computer. So I'm not going to a web browser and logging into Claude. I have this on my computer. So it's an actual application on your computer called Claude. When you do that, you get these three menus up at the top: chat, cowork, and code. Those are like the three versions that you can work with. Chat would be just like ChatGPT. This is Claude. You can just have the conversations with it. When you click this icon in the middle, that goes into cowork. And cowork is the one where you can give it a task, it connects to your tools, it does the work for you. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click on customize. And when I click on this customize menu, we get this menu on the left-hand side that gives us two menus. One says skills and the other says connectors. Today, we're going to focus on skills. Probably next week on Breakfast Club, we're going to go through connectors and connecting to different tools because that's how it actually uses the tools to do all the stuff. So I'm going to click on skills. What skills are is the tasks that you do in your business over and over and over again perfectly. Think, Frank, the perfect way to process a mortgage application, the perfect way to talk to an underwriter, the perfect way to communicate with an appraiser that's sent in an appraisal that's a little bit low on a property that you've put together. You have skills that are very unique to you in your mortgage business. This tool is to get it so that Claude has that very best version of what it is that you do and can do it repetitively at its highest level every time you ask it to do a task that relates to that part of your business and your life. So for today's example, we're going to create a skill inside my Claude that's going to write emails for me every day. That's a big part of how we provide value to the mortgage industry, so super important. So I've gone into skills. I'm going to click this plus button. It allows you to browse skills. So Claude has gone through and looked at, hey, if you're running a business, here's typically a lot of the skills that you're going to need to run this thing. So you can browse those skills, click on them, and then customize them to you. We're going to create a specific skill because there's nothing in there that really touches on the mortgage industry. I'm going to create a skill and I'm going to create it with Claude. Now, it takes me to this window that looks just like a chat. And what I'm going to do is, oh, my copy and paste, I lost it. So we're just going to type it out. So I'm going to put, let's create a skill. Let's go here. Using your skill creator skill. I'm going to upload all the emails I've sent in the last year, and I want you to update my brand guidelines and build my emails skills. Super simple. So now what I've done in the background is I've gone to the Loan Officer CRM, went to emails, and took every single email that I've sent out in the last year, and I've put it into a document. So now I'm going to click this plus button in the bottom of this conversation. I'm going to click add files or photos, and I'm going to select all the emails that I've sent in the last year. It's going to upload that file to this skill creation tool, and then I'm going to hit enter. Now we'll watch the AI do the work for us in the background, but think about as you're communicating with your clients and your customers and all of the customer service that you do and that perfect response that you've given to, hey, what are rates doing right now? Think about the power of having the mortgage marketing animal scripts from the membership in a skill where you can have the perfect script response every single time to communication that comes in. You can create those as skills inside Claude that it's going to reference every time you work with it in order to do an actual task. So we can see here, it just went through and it read all the emails that were in that file. So it's learned how I write, my punctuation style, which might not be great. It's going to have to touch that up for me a little bit. But we have a specific format that we use in order to write our emails. Last year, look at this, we sent 327 emails, Frank. That's not bad. 365 days in the year. Look, if we take Sundays off, probably pretty close to that number. Not bad. But if I have a skill where Claude is actually drafting the email for it, sending it to me to approve it, I approve it, and it goes out through the loan officer CRM, it's easy to be very consistent on sending out your Friday newsletters to your past clients and all that wonderful stuff. So now it's going out and it's building that skill for me. And the other thing that's super cool about this, Frank, is it's also learning everything about my business. So it's extracting all of the links to all my websites that I've ever sent out. It's got all the pricing details. It's got the fact that I'm part of Loan Officer Breakfast Club in there and the link to Loan Officer Breakfast Club. Like all of the tools and resources that you have in your business that you're consistently sending out to people, it's going to remember all of that and be able to put that information back into the emails that it writes for you as it goes forward. So not only is it just learning how to write emails, it's also learning everything about my business that's been in those emails for the last year.
Yeah.
So the reason why I wanted to show this first is this is actually a really deep way to teach your Claude about you when you're first getting started. And last week when we went through on the class that we do at noon, we went through and actually had AI interview us to build our brand skills document. So we actually went to Claude and say, hey, you're going to create my brand guideline, interview me about my business to get everything that you need to know about my brand. And we created a brand skills. Now we're using it to do the email side of things. And so it's writing this update skill, taking a hot minute, but that's okay because it would take me, well, probably if it was up to me, it wouldn't get done. If
Right.
we're being completely candid about that, right? And now it's creating some reference files, which I'm assuming are for each of the different products. So imagine all of the conversations that you've had with borrowers. And I just misspoke. Imagine all of the conversations that you've had about the specific products, like the product guidelines that you have, having all of the product guidelines as skills inside this cowork. So when you ask it about a specific loan product, it can take the actual information and put it into the communication that it's going to send or into the PDF that you're going to create with it or the website that you're going to set up with all of that. All that information goes into this skill document. And Frank, I'm sorry it's taken so long.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
While we're watching it work.
It's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Any questions in the chat?
Greg has got his hand up.
My man.
My man. You blow minds again. I'm glad I got that pack of Newports.
Yeah.
I got a quick question for you on this. So I was playing around with Claude Code and I had it create I wanted to teach realtors just one of the theme days, like basically touching Sphere, touching past clients, because every time I try to teach them all, nothing, just too much for my realtor friends. But I had to go through all the notes I've written over the last 3 or 4 years from MMA and LOBC. And I'm on the $23 a month plan. And because I had it on Opus, I ran out of data for the first time since using AI. And do I need a mega account at Anthropic or Claude to do these kinds of things, or did I just, have a one-off experience?
So great question. You can just wait until that data resets.
Yep.
And or you can buy like packs of credits essentially. So you
Oh,
can go into your Claude account and you can actually like rather than I need to double check on this, but because I use a lot of different AI tools, this might not be specific to Claude, but I do know that I've bought packs of just like usage. But
okay.
for me, like, so my head's a little bit weird because we run Connection Incorporated. So I always kind of have this lens of like a number of our team members are here on this call this morning, right? We've got Jen Woodland and like our entire team is here.
Yep.
So if I give this task to an employee and I look at the cost associated with that, or I get co-work to do it, right? I don't have to bog an employee down with something where I'm stacking something on their plate where they already have a full plate. And it might cost me an additional $49 a month in order to get that done. If I look at it
Okay.
from an employee perspective, it's ridiculously cheap in order to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. And just as these tasks get more complex, we should expect, well, let me ask you one last question. Are you using always, I think it's Opus is the most recent, strongest model. Are you always using highest model for these kinds of tasks or not necessarily?
Not necessarily. So
Okay.
if I'm building tools, doing code, requiring any type of deep research to go into something, I'll use Sonnet, which is what we're using now, which is the most advanced model, I believe. Haiku, I believe, is the one that uses the least amount of tokens. So there's basically like three versions of it. Just default to the lowest LLM that it
Yep.
offers.
Yeah.
And then if it's not doing what you need, then use the one that's a little bit more advanced.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, just as a reminder, if you're enjoying Loan Officer Breakfast Club here on YouTube, you can catch our live shows. The live shows are really cool because there's oftentimes downloads and giveaways. It's really, really fun. To subscribe, you simply go to loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. That's loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. Subscribe and join us on our live shows. They're 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Hope to see you there.
Cool. I know token usage. What a Friday.
But I tell you, it is the way to look at it. You're right. You've got staff, employees that have important things to do, and you can load up on them tasks that this could take care of much easier, and then that way they're freed up to do their thing. Brilliant. You just got to look at it from an employee standpoint.
Yep.
This might have cost me $10, with Claude to do something that would take somebody lots of time and waste lots of productivity. You know what I mean? When it could have just got done through this. It's brilliant. There's a couple more hands up. Do you want to go to those
Yeah,
or
for sure. Absolutely.
Marcio? Go.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Chris, I have a question for you. And it's actually a real world example that I'm using right now, right? And it's not work related, but my son is a junior in high school and she just took the ACT, took the SAT, right?
Nice.
And so now, he scored like 95th percentile on pretty much on both, right? So,
Congratulations.
yeah, no, I mean the kid's math whiz. So now I'm getting so we're deciding, do we focus? He's going to get a little bit of tutoring. Do we get focused that on the ACT or the SAT? And I'm actually getting differing answers on ChatGPT versus Grok versus Gemini. When that happens to you, what do you do? Are you taking best two out of three? Are you going further? What is the decision path, for business related when something like this happens?
Wow, that is a very deep question. And a very important question as well. I don't know that I can give it the full because education, especially of the youth right now, is something that I'm super passionate about, Marcio. I would say it is super important for our kids to understand that the things that they're passionate about and the things that they love doing are the things that they should pursue. And I think that they should lean into learning AI skills on how they can apply them to the things that they love to do. Because I think the world that they're going to navigate in 3 short years from today and the job environment that they're going to walk into as this continues to process through the economy is going to be different than the way that we understand it right now. But if they understand how to learn the tools and they know from a core values perspective what's important to them and the pathway that they want to go on in their life, if they can apply those two things together, I think that that's going to be something that's super powerful for somebody who's coming up underneath us. The other thing that I would share with you is that NVIDIA, the company that makes a lot of these AI chips, has a free university on their website that teaches you chip design, infrastructure, data centers, all of this stuff. And you can actually go on and for like, I think it's $15 to take each of these tests. They can get NVIDIA certified for AI skills for infrastructure. And if you can, from a math-based kid perspective, if you've got a kid who's a wizard at math, if you can get him involved in AI infrastructure of like the real world things that need to be built in order to power artificial intelligence, I think that that might be a good pathway.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Sweet.
That was cool too. Man, there's so much good stuff. David White, go, man.
Yes, can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
I've got a question as it relates to business. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm stuck with 365 and Copilot. Are you finding that you're able to trust the responses without having to double check it? Because I'm having to fine tune sometimes 3 or 4 times. Granted, it's still cutting me out. Whether I'm not spending 45 minutes writing a business email, it's 5 minutes, so it's still a huge time saver, but my confidence in the auto responses is just not there yet. So
Yeah.
just wanted to speak to that.
So absolutely. And I've had the same experience and totally cool as we go through the learning thing. That said, one thing that helped me considerably is every time I would go through that process and I would ask it to write an email and I wouldn't like the response that it would come back with, rather than going in and spending a whole ton of time prompting it to try and get it to change the email to what I want, it already did 90% of the lifting for me where I was like, oh, this is good. I need to change this, this, and this. This skills document that we're creating here, I go in and I add to it at the very bottom. And I say, feedback. If you write an email like this, these are my edits. Write it like this. And so it's able to see the AI output and the finished result of my email, and it learns from that over time. And I found that that very quickly changed the output to where my emails were coming out in a way where they were much higher quality. Does that help? Oh, man. Okay. Jen and Frank, I'm sorry that we're over time, but we're done. So down here at the bottom, it actually wrote my skill document. Ton of very interesting information that it pulled out of those emails, and I just clicked the Save Skill button. Now, I already have one in here, but this is going to be just as good as the other one. So we're going to upload and replace my email skills document. And then when I come back to customize and I look at my skills, I now have this Connection Incorporated email style skills document. So now when I go back and I say, write me an email for today, I don't have to give it a topic, context, anything. Of course, I would, based on like, oh, and Lee was amazing yesterday. Yeah. Frank, we've got some great stuff on Breakfast Club next week that's coming up. I could give it a prompt or, hey, write my weekly newsletter. Here's the information that you want. And here's our email for today. At noon today, I'm going live and open up my screen showing how to get ChatGPT, Grok, and Gemini to start recommending loan officers to real borrowers. And here's the promo for Build It with Chris. Off one prompt. So Build
It's
the
like,
skills document.
thank you, I'm going surfing. Da, 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 da. Yeah.
Like, think of how much time you can save with all of the different presentations that you do for borrowers after you meet with them. So skills take a little bit of time to set up, but once you have them set up, you have this brain in your business that you can reference every single time that just saves you a ton of time and effort and work. So I hope that was valuable for everybody this morning.
Super good.
Chris,
Let's get some.
Claude is a separate paid program that we have to sign up for.
So
Application.
Claude is technically free. Claude Cowork also free. But as you get into Claude Cowork and these more advanced tools, yes, there is a subscription. I think it's somewhere in the range of about $20 a month. I don't have the pricing right off the top of my head. But in my opinion, that is a small check to cash a big check if you're using this for following up with your database.
Right, but
following
my
the-
point was, I guess it's not part of Chat GPT.
Correct. Yeah, totally
Completely
separate.
different. Yeah.
Good, thank you.
Yep, no problem. For those of you that are watching, we do have a special Loan Officer Breakfast Club trial for the Loan Officer CRM. So if you need a tool to keep all your contacts organized so that you can send all this information out, we include Model Match in your subscription. So you get all the qualified real estate agent data. You can try that out for $1 for the first 4 weeks. If you don't like it, we will give you your dollar back. And you can try that trial out today by going to loanofficercrm.ai/trial. And that's where you will submit your $1 to get on the onboarding today. And that link is in the chat. So sorry we went over time this morning, Frank.
Oh, it's all good. It was great, man. It was epic. Yeah. I'm just blown away by it all. It's incredible, man. Thanks so much. It's such a great pleasure to have you here, Chris, on Fridays to open our minds to this and open our eyes to what can be done. If we weren't here, I don't know what we'd be doing. This is great. So good stuff, man. All right, guys, get the trial. If you're not part of the CRM, you're going to love it once you get in. And the onboarding is killer. The support is amazing. Anyone on this call who's on the CRM will tell you the onboarding and the training is amazing, or the support. Good stuff. Only $1 to give it a try. Loan Officer CRM.ai/trial is how you get there. The class is also today, right, Chris?
Yep. Yeah, at noon. And that's loaifriday.com. If people want.
loaifriday.com. So
Yep.
get into the classes. You're going to go in a deeper dive on this.
Yes, exactly. We're going to create some other skills.
I don't know how we could go deeper, but awesome. Yeah.
Sorry.
Good stuff, man. Well, great. Thank you, Chris. Always a pleasure. And thank you guys for being here on the Breakfast Club. As always, show up on Monday. We'll have some more fun. So let's get on with our day and on with our weekend. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you here Monday. Adios from Loan Officer Breakfast Club. Adios. Bye-bye.
Everybody, have a great weekend.